Hey everybody. So the other day I was reading about St. Luke the Evangelist. Luke, as we know, was one of the 4 gospel writers. He was a physician, and he's also the patron saint of artists. Not even he can help me there. And as I was reading about him, I stopped and thought for a moment about what follows his name that we may all too often say without giving it much thought. Luke the Evangelist. Again, he was one of the 4 evangelists or gospel writers, which is where that title comes from, and he was a powerful figure in the early church. But Luke would be the first to say that the work of evangelization wasn't just reserved for him. Evangelization should be the work of everyone. You know, today, we may think that proclaiming the life and love of Jesus is just the work of our parish priest or the director of religious education. You know, they're the ones on the payroll, so they should be the ones proclaiming the good news of the gospel, right? Well, no. It's not just their job, just like it wasn't just Luke's job in his day to evangelize. It's yours and mine as well. Every one of us has been called in a unique way to proclaim the good news of Jesus. So if you're a priest, that's great. If you're not a priest, that's also great. The Lord needs every vocation, every profession sharing the gospel. And I know that might sound intimidating. You might think, well, I have no formal training in theology and I don't read the catechism before I go to bed. So how can I evangelize? Now, first, let me say the church needs catechists and apologists and theologians, and we have some incredible ones throughout the church's history. But if you're not one of them, I'm here to tell you God needs you too. And you may have something even more powerful than a good argument, friends. You might have a story. And who doesn't love a good story? I use stories all the time when I'm speaking, especially on the lives of the saints, as you probably know by now. But here, I'm not necessarily recommending to start with the story of a saint or someone else. That might come later. I think we should start with our story. The story of how we've come to know and love God. The story of what God has done for us personally in our marriage or family, to try and give witness to the hope we have for tomorrow and the joy we're striving to live with today. Friends, our story of how you and I, albeit imperfectly, have come to know God and try to follow Him might be the most powerful story someone's ever heard. And it doesn't have to be spectacular either. Mine isn't. And when that opportunity arises to tell your story, don't shy away. It most likely won't happen every day, but as St. Paul says, be prepared to give witness to the hope you have in and because of your faith. What's your story? Pray for me, friends, and know I'm praying for you. God bless you.